when we started basically spreading the word through social media and through our friends, we had 500 users that night. The next day, just through organic word of mouth, we had 1,000.
That was Sean Rad, the founder of Tinder, the guy who made billions helping people swipe left on their soulmates while sitting on the toilet. Now here's the kicker. 91% of apps in the App Store make $0. That's like opening a restaurant and realizing your only customer is your mom, who brought her own lunch. And yet, there was an app called Yo, and all it did was send the word yo to your friends. That's it. No photos, no chat, just yo. And here's the crazy part. It raised $1 million in funding, hit over 2 million downloads, and at its peak had 100,000 active users a day. So the real question isn't, can you code? It's, can you solve a problem people actually care about?
Because as you go into one of those ways of innovation, it's a great opportunity to learn and to understand the new technologies that are coming out and how they're going to impact the world. And then
he is spot on with that point. Understanding technology isn't enough. You need to know how it's going to impact people's lives. And in this video, you'll learn how to spot winning app ideas, how to launch quickly without wasting months coding, and the secret strategy to turn your app into a money printing machine. So if you're ready to avoid being in the 91% app graveyard, let's start where it really matters, your mindset. You have to stop thinking like a coder and start thinking like an entrepreneur. Like, why is my phone battery dead again? Why does it take me 3 apps, 5 clicks, and a password reset just to split a dinner bill? Not, how can I implement blockchain for sandwiches?
As an entrepreneur, I could take that learning and start to think about ways to create things that maybe no one in the investment pool has thought about.
Because profitable apps aren't about technical wizardry. They're about solving problems people will actually pay to fix. And if you have spent 3 months polishing your note-taking app, well, it sucks to be you. Because in the meantime, some dude has made $10,000 last month with a basic water reminder app. That's right. In case you didn't know and probably shouldn't know, the top hydration reminder apps pull in over 2 million a year, reminding people to drink water. Here's why you're watching this video. We're taking you from random app idea to first paying customer in under 30 days. No computer science degree required. No team needed. Just you, some caffeine, a clear plan, and a bit of luck. And if you're wondering if you still need that computer science degree, I'm going to respond boldly and say, forget about it. Save yourself $200,000 in 4 years. You need focus, not credentials. But don't tell your mom that, as she'll try to find a way to sue me. But before we jump into the technical stuff, let me say this again. We need to rewire your brain to think differently about this whole thing. Your job isn't to write perfect code, it's to create something people value enough to pay for. And I know it's easier said than done, but I bet you it's less time and money than 4 years of university degree.
Well, you got to be very clear about the problem that you are solving. And I think you have to feel, as a founder, a connection to that problem. You have to be the customer.
Here's how to pick a winning app idea. Use this exact template. I'm building specific app type that helps specific group of people to achieve specific outcome so they can get specific benefit. For example, I'm building a meal planning app that helps busy parents plan weekly dinners so they can save 3 hours every week and reduce food waste. Notice how specific that is? That's your North Star and your brain being rewired. And yes, you are absolutely spot on to think, so the app doesn't need to be for everyone. The golden rule, build something so focused that when that someone sees it, they immediately think, this was made for me. Then they go ahead and say, where is that buy button?
One thing people really miss in MVP is that if, yes, you want to launch and get feedback, but if you launch a shitty product, what's the point?
Now that was Sean Rad talking about scaling Tinder to the fastest growing consumer social app. Forget about building the next Instagram. Your first app should do one thing incredibly well. I call this the Swiss Army knife versus laser principle. A Swiss Army knife does many things poorly, just like your last group project. A laser does one thing with incredible precision and power. Your minimum viable product, aka MVP for those that know, should be embarrassingly simple. So simple that you're almost ashamed to launch it. But do it anyway, and if you're worried about being laughed at, don't, as they're already laughing at your TikToks. For example, Buffer, the scheduling social media app, launched with just a landing page and collected 120 paying customers before the product even existed. Now let's talk about the part that most developers get excited about, tech. The biggest mistake new developers make is choosing technology based on what's trendy instead of what gets results fast. For web apps, I recommend starting with a no-code or low-code solution like Bubble, Webflow, or even WordPress. Calm down, purists. It's not cheating. It's smart laziness.
Yeah, boy.
And if you're wondering, WordPress? Really? Yes, Karen, WordPress. Take a seat. Your customers don't care how elegant your backend is. They care if it works. If you want to code, pick React for web or React Native for mobile. Not because they're the best, but because they're good enough and have massive communities. When you're stuck at 2 a.m., you want Stack Overflow answers, not crickets. Here's where 2025 hits different. Tools like ChatGPT and Copilot can write 70% of your code. GitHub says Copilot helps devs code 55% faster on average, meaning you can waste 55% more time arguing on Reddit or dom scrolling on TikTok. But remember, AI's only as smart as your prompts. And if you're gonna leave this video and go write the prompt, build me Uber. Sure, see how that plays out. You need to break your prompt into tiny tasks. Ask for, write a React component with a map and clickable pins. Instead of build me a social media app, try write a React component that displays a list of posts with like buttons. But I don't want to digress here, as writing good prompts is a whole YouTube video of its own. Now to the best part, and my favorite part, let's talk money, because that's why you're here. You have 3 main options: one-time purchase, subscription, freemium plus premium upgrades. And if you're a newbie, start with one-time purchases. Simpler, easier, no complex billing headaches. The top paid iOS utility apps make $20,000 to $50,000 per month from one-time purchases alone. Meanwhile, you're here, debating if you can afford 2 streaming subscriptions, or if it's time to borrow your ex's Netflix password again. For payments, use Stripe, or build your own payment processor, if you enjoy pain and regret. If you're wondering, but shouldn't I launch first, then figure out pricing? No. Set up your pricing before you build.
Are you serious right now, bro?
Seriously. If you can't figure out what someone would pay for your idea, maybe it's not worth building. Here's the dilemma that many struggle with before they launch. Do I just get shit out and see what works? Or do I need to be very deliberate about my product?
The idea of throwing shit at the wall and seeing what sticks is a very soulless, effort. I don't subscribe to that. I think you have to have a clear vision, test, iterate the vision.
There, you have your answer. Now, time to ship. For web apps, deploy to Versal or Netlify. They're free and make you look professional. For mobile, obviously App Store and Google Play, but don't underestimate web apps that work on mobile. Here's your launch checklist. Create a simple landing page that explains what your app does in 10 seconds. Add screenshots or a demo video. Include at least one testimonial. And no, your mom saying, "You're brilliant," doesn't count. Or maybe it does. You decide. Have a clear call to action or buy button. Set up basic analytics so you know what's working. And don't worry about no one signing up. It's your job to go and find them. Here's your game plan. Marketing doesn't have to be complicated. Start with these 3 channels. Product Hunt. Launch there for instant exposure to tech-savvy early adopters. Reddit. Find subreddits where your target customers hang out. Don't spam. Actually help people and mention your app when it's genuinely relevant. X. Personal storytelling. Just don't turn into that guy who won't stop tweeting their monthly recurring revenue, aka MRR, every 5 minutes. And if you're thinking, but I suck at marketing? First off, that's the wrong mindset, as we are what we tell ourselves we are. And so you shift your belief to, I can learn anything I put my energy and focus towards, and shift your thinking by asking the question, how can I become a great marketer? And I've got some tips and good news. Products with stories behind them get 3x higher engagement on X. People love rooting for the solo builder. Share your building journey. People love following along with indie makers. The secret sauce? Don't sell features, sell outcomes. Don't say my app has calendar integration. Say, Never miss another important deadline. After launch, your real job begins: listening. Add a simple feedback widget to your app. Email every single user personally, even if it's just your grandma and your weird female coworker, George. Yes, you're correct to think this doesn't scale, but you're not trying to scale yet. You're trying to learn.
Don't put the cart before the horse. If it's not ready for 1 million people, you don't want to give it to 1 million people. You want to slowly start expanding your circle of reach and test at every step.
Focus on these two types of feedback: feature requests that multiple people ask for, pain points that cause people to stop using your app. The best part is that you have an unfair advantage: speed. Big companies take months to make simple changes. You can do it in hours. So basically, listen to feedback, ship updates weekly, ruthlessly cut features nobody uses, and know your customers will not get annoyed, they'll love you for it. 70% of users say they're more loyal to products that improve quickly after feedback. Track what matters: monthly recurring revenue, MRR, for subscriptions. Customer acquisition cost, CAC, how much you spend to get each customer. Customer lifetime value, LTV, how much each customer is worth over time. Daily, monthly active users, DAU. Your goal for your first app: $1,000 MRR within 90 days. That proves you've built something people actually want. And this is the part you've been dying to hear. We scale, baby. Building profitable apps solo isn't about being the best programmer. It's about being the best problem solver. You don't need a perfect app. You need a focused app solving a painful problem. Start small, launch fast, learn faster, and yes, get closer to the place where you can finally quit your soul-sucking day job because your side hustle has paid off. That's the dream, my friend. If this hit home, do leave a comment, smash the subscribe button, and be the first to get notified of our next video. Who knows, your app might just be the next big thing, or at least pay for your crippling coffee addiction.